folks, what's going on? I'm Scott. That's Ryan. That's Day. And this is that. Thanks for, as always, Tales from the Film Set, breaking down movies, breaking down the industry, and in some cases, just having nervous breakdowns in general. So we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff today. We're going to be doing our monthly cash or trash with some of the big blockbuster movies coming out, talking about will they succeed, will they flop, and will we laugh? We'll also be talking a little bit about the passing of Alan Arkin, which we're going to get into a little bit. But before we get into any of that, we have to talk about that hat. So,
my hat's still better, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good hat. It's a decent hat.
You like the hat? I can work with the hat. I can work with that.
Yeah. What hat are we talking about?
Your hat.
Your hat.
Oh, my hat.
Yeah,
your hat.
Yeah,
not my hat.
Not mine neither. So,
Ryan's, I don't have one.
Ryan's hat over there. So,
Ryan, yeah. I love your hat. Your hat's beautiful today.
It is a beautiful hat.
Yeah, we love the whole.
How to F are you guys anyway? So,
living the dream.
All right,
I still am covered in glitter.
What happened? What happened, Ryan?
I am covered in glitter. You may not be able to see on camera, but
why are you covered in glitter?
Because my friend happened to have a toga party for her birthday last night. Oh. And in my infinite wisdom, I decided to make a laurel off of things I got at Dollar Tree. And all the plantage I used had glitter on it. So as I'm fumbling around with the thing, trying to make sure it stays on my head, it got on my head, my face, my arms, the toga itself. It will not come off on the arms. I showered this morning, still got glitter.
So we'll call you Twilight Sparkles?
Exactly. Yeah, are you Edward or Jacob?
I landed into that. I can't refute it.
Dude, how many times have you busted my balls on stuff? So you know what?
Yes.
Yeah, no. I'll take that one.
Yeah. Are you?
Although it's not my fault. It's the glitter's fault. Anybody that knows glitter knows it has a mind of its own.
That's just like Polka Dot Man.
Yeah, except he can at least get rid of his. I can't get rid of mine.
Toga.
Don't act for a minute like we didn't do shout at the bar.
Yeah. Whoa.
All right, so we got to get things rolling a little bit. We probably should, it pains me to say it, start out on a little bit of a dour note before we start making fun of what's coming out in July. Many of you guys are aware about the recent passing of Alan Arkin, 60-year plus career in this case. I know, Ryan, I think you had a couple of thoughts on this. Day, you might as well. I do, but Ryan, I'll give it to you first.
Yeah.
Well, Alan Arkin's got a bit of a funny career because I don't think a lot of people really knew his work or who he was until the 2000s with Little Miss Sunshine.
Yep.
I think that was like his quote-unquote breakout role, even though he had been working as an actor ever since like the late 50s, early 60s. So it's funny that he was one of those actors that really came into his prime in his older age, which you don't normally see a lot of, only because take people like Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon, and everything. Once a certain generation hopped onto them from Grumpy Old Men, but they still had a well-versed, well-known career before that. Arkin, not as much. Sure, he was in great films of his earlier years, but really, yeah. You could look at his career, and his most notable stuff is from probably the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm. And Little Miss Sunshine was, 10, 15 years ago? It was 20 years ago also, wasn't it?
I'll give you an exact date in a second.
All right.
That was 2006.
Okay, so 17 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we're talking about a guy who's done things like Gattaca, pretty much, The Rocketeer was one of the ones I remember him from. Just because you and me are Danny Sex Bang fans, he was the voice of Schmendrick in The Last Unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
So all these little nods to his, his good stuff, you don't really recognize until probably you look at his older stuff when he was even just still a minor character. I think you look at things like Going in Style or Stand Up Guys, where he's working with Michael Caine and De Niro and stuff of that nature, Christopher Walken, a lot of his fellow seniors. That's where he was like really just going ahead and like grabbing the bull by the horns as far as what he could do with, before he passed. He was one of those guys that he didn't really take a year off or anything. He just kept working. And I think as long as he got recognized eventually, that's what matters.
Do you think we'll see him in the next Oscar?
They'll posthumously recognize him. He won.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He won an Oscar.
Okay.
Now, I just want to mention this in this case. I got I actually predate you guys with Alan Arkin on two different fronts. This movie over here is the 1966 comedy, The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming.
That was one of his earliest, right?
Yes. And I remember this movie as a kid. Ironically enough, because my grandfather spoke fluent Russian and understood everything he was saying and in the comedy behind the scenes you never heard about. One sec. So in this case, why I'm bringing this movie up, and I'll turn this over to Rob in a sec, is because in 1966, we were dead smack in the middle of the Cold War. I mean, hardcore. So a comedy about a Russian submarine accidentally beaching itself on a shoreline in Massachusetts and making it into a comedy of all things came at a very unique time. And I'll say this, his Russian was sparkling in this movie. It was incredible how good he was with that. I don't know if he spoke it in real life, but dude, he crushed it, as the captain trying to lead these guys on shore after, like I said, literally their submarine gets stuck in Massachusetts. And it was a unique comedy for its time, just because of the fact that obviously tensions were so brutal, so rough, and out comes this weird, quirky film, that required the two to have to team up to save some little kid from falling into his death. And it was neat for its time. Rob, go ahead before I go to my next thing.
Sorry, you mentioned the Russian. Is that that's the same person I met at not this person that passed,
Johnny
but
Whitaker, yes. That was the kid that I mentioned that got saved in that movie.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah, like I said, it was one of those things where tensions got crazy because the guy you see next to Arkin there, turned up missing, and the Russians thought foul play was involved, and it got to the point that they were ready to blow up the town. But he showed up, and then the two teams together, the townspeople and the Russians, had to team up to save this kid from falling to his death. So it ended on kind of, like I said, kind of a happy, more positive note.
Yeah.
And for its time, like I said, you see how young he is right there. You take it forward to 1979 in this case, and you have a movie called The In-Laws, which was later done as a remake with Albert Brooks, I believe. In this case here, he is a dentist, and Peter Falk is a member of the CIA who get caught up in a gigantic conspiracy between them after meeting for the first time as their kids are about to get married. So,
now which one was he? Is he the one that's
something other than Princess Diaries or Princess Bride? Sorry,
is he the one that's looking at us, or the one that's looking that way?
No, the one to the side, the very prim and proper dentist-looking type. Yeah. Peter Falk is the other guy, by the way.
I was going to say the one that's looking at us kind of has like a Bill Murray vibes.
Okay, the fact that basically he's young enough to not recognize that that's Peter Falk saddens me a tiny bit.
Yeah, no, just.
I'm sorry, but I don't know.
Take the brim of the hat and lower it over your eyes, down your shoulder. There you go. Okay.
But yeah, no, it was, like I said, it was a classic comedy for its time because it was unique. And like I said, Albert Brooks, I forget who he was alongside, but he played the Peter Falk character in that movie, I believe, for 2005, 2006. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Alan Arkin for decades prior to Little Miss Sunshine that sort of kind of flew under the radar a little bit, but it's a generational thing also.
Well, Arkin always took on like bit roles, really. He was never one of those ones that like tried to take the spotlight. Although, funny enough, one of the movies I now recognize him in, The Jerky Boys. Of all movies, he was in that.
Why?
Wait, he was in The Jerky Boys?
He was in The Jerky Boys. Go ahead and check it on IMDb.
I'm pulling up an image right now.
For me, that's like being the Incredible Burt Wonderstone. It's like he'll just go ahead and take a role that makes him.
Actually, you know who else seems to be in The Jerky Boys here that I'm noticing? Vinny Pastore was in that apparently too. I have to bust his balls on that one. Yeah, you're right.
It's weird when you think about like people and being recognized. Yeah, he played Ernie Lazaro along with William Hickey and Vinny Pastor,
Yeah, I'll pull that one up in the meantime.
Ozzy Osbourne. It was a weird movie, man.
Dude,
And that's
the
the thing.
Jerky Boys were very much a product of its time, kind of like, the Spice Girls movie was, where it's like, there's lightning in a bottle. Let's real quick just capitalize for the quick buck.
Why do I recognize the girl?
That's Abigail Breslin.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's she known for? I know that face. I don't know.
Oh,
Never
my
mind.
God.
I'm sorry. I'm a face person.
Listen, he's half the age that we are. You just have to
Gotta
accept
give
that.
him credit.
By the way, also we have Greg Kinnear and Steve Carell in that picture too.
I noticed Steve.
Yeah. Steve Carell.
Please don't ask about the other two.
Yeah.
I know who Steve
Greg
is.
Kinnear is a guy from Mystery Men, right? and as good as it gets, I'm dating myself on that one too. But
I can't see the other person name because like the live, I can't see the other face because the live in the thing.
Oh, really? You can see that?
I mean, trust me, it's just his forehead that's being covered,
Yeah, no, that's Greg Kinnear.
Okay.
So there you go.
There we go. Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't realize you guys saw that too.
Yeah.
So. Of course we do.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. I see it on the admin side, so I don't know what you guys look at. But
we're apparently still new to this whole streaming thing.
Yeah, well, I'm not used to this internet thing. I'm telling you right now, CompuServe's coming back, okay?
What's the internet?
Exactly.
I would not be surprised.
Google is a really big
already
number.
asked enough questions to hurt my brain today. It's like, what else doesn't he know?
The
poor babe.
So anyway,
Ryan?
Hope 752, 1, 10 let A equal 0, 20 let A equal A plus 1. There, basic.
Ryan?
Yeah. Literally 1970.
What?
Don't be that guy.
I'm always that guy.
No.
I'm that guy and so many other guys.
He's Twilight Sparkles, remember?
I'll take Twilight Sparkle over Edward Cullen any day. All right, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I almost see he was like Juniper Sunshine or something.
Yeah, he was
Juniper Montage maybe.
So in this picture that you showed, it cracked me up because it made me think he could have been another pick for Charles Xavier.
It's the follicle lack of, but I think he's too old.
Yeah,
no, I know.
Pretty much Xavier was like 45 years old.
Yeah,
so he was a character.
Yeah, that's a signature look that a lot of people recognize him in. It's like
that's
you showed the
more
one
the look
from
from Little Miss Sunshine kind of thing. But
yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Rob. You don't understand this at this point, but when you reach a certain age and the hair starts to go, you start to question basically how long you want to go with the lack of it before you just go in that direction. Trust me, I'm feeling this right now. I have a fair bit less hair than I did a year ago, and decisions are being made on my side. I'm going to just call it that way.
I have some friends that are already bald.
Dude, I started losing at 23. So
yeah.
But
I don't know.
But yeah, Alan Arkin, thank you for being awesome. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
We are going to basically try and move on at this point, unless you guys had anything else on that.
No, but Mission Impossible.
I jumped the gun. So, all right.
Okay.
I really wish I would have
went.
I really wish I would have went to the premiere of. Could have went to the premiere of this. Been seeing a lot of posts of people, not about the movie, but like of meeting Tom Cruise, and they said he's a really nice guy. And somebody had a custom Funko Pop made for Top Gun Maverick. Mm-hmm. They made a custom one, and I guess they were saying he was scared about making one because I guess Tom Cruise doesn't want an action figure or Funko Pop made of him. You should have just seen the reactions, and he's like, "This is so cool," and he signed it and stuff like that. So.
Nice.
Well, yeah, he would probably never market something like that. I think it's probably something against his rules of Scientology, but doesn't mean he's not going to appreciate the family. Yeah. You want to go ahead, take the time, create something like that. He'll definitely acknowledge you, but does he want to worry about any money being made off that? No.
I mean, I was gonna say there probably would be if the person sells it because it's gonna be a 1-on-1.
All right, so let's talk basically cash or trash.
Okay.
Are we going in weekly order or just whatever movies?
I'm going to basically just flick between movies in this case. I mean,
I think it's easy to say out of all the movies that are coming out this month, I think this one has the most potential.
The cash.
Which is why I wanted to start with it, because this is a slam dunk.
Yeah.
This is going to be a cash.
You think so?
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes. I mean, after what we've seen from other blockbusters, it's nice to get like just a genuine action movie without all the the superficial science fiction-y mumbo jumbo stuff that's being added to all of them.
I think the Barbie movie is going to make more money than
We'll
this
get to
movie.
Barbie in due time. We're focusing right now on this. We will get to that. But in this case, here's my question real quick. Ryan, yes or no? Has he had a movie between Top Gun Maverick and this one?
Not that
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Again, I'll double check on the IMDb, but
So
as
in this
far
case,
as I know,
you look at the decades-long career of Tom Cruise, 40 years since Risky Business. His stock arguably has never been higher now because he just turned 61 years old.
Yep.
This movie clocks in at $290 million, which is on par to another movie that came out very recently on the same budget that we all declared was going to be a bomb and kind of has been. Indy, sorry. But this movie, this is going to crush. I think this is going to basically what's going to kill Indiana Jones and possibly the rest of the month, to be brutally honest with you.
I definitely agree with you because the anticipation, especially this is letting you know this is like technically a part one of a film. And Tom Cruise and his cast, his crew, his energy, people are going to see this film just because it's Mission Impossible, it's Tom Cruise, and the rest of his cast. Got Simon Pegg, if I'm saying his name right, in the film. You got Vin Rames.
Yep.
And you got a couple of other phenomenal actresses that's in this film that's going to basically, this is pretty much.
Lisa Morales is in there. Haley Atwell.
Well, Pom Clemente, Rebecca Ferguson, Vanessa Kirby from Hobbs and Shaw.
This is really going to be a phenomenal film. Like this, I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm not saying it's going to be good, but it will not.
We're just looking at this point. We're not saying if the movie's good or bad. It's will it make money?
I think not.
No, I will say it will because this is Tom Cruise.
I think it's not going to. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
When I mentioned Mission Impossible to a lot of people that I know, they're like, "Oh my gosh, another Mission Impossible movie!" And they're like, "I'm not going to see it." So I don't know.
My take on it is this: this is basically a smart Fast and the Furious movie because you show up to see what Tom Cruise is going to do this time.
To be honest, it looks like a Fast and Furious poster.
Well, in this case, the point being is that Tom Cruise has done so many stunts on his own with stuff like this that a lot of people will tune in to find out both the gripping storyline that's involved, but also to see what the new stunts and explosions are. So to call it, now correct me if you could disagree, but to call it a smart Fast and the Furious movie, I think I can make that argument. I don't know about you guys.
It's true because one of the things that Mission Impossible has going for it, as opposed to like Fast and Furious and a lot of the other movies that we've seen so far this summer, Tom Cruise and to a lesser extent, the other filmmakers that work on these movies, they pride themselves on practicality. Like, there's a reason that it looks so good because a lot of it is real. It is practical effects.
Right.
They actually had to build a train in order to do the train scenes. No CGI for any of that. When that thing crashes into the ground, that thing crashes into the ground. When you see Tom Cruise jumping from a motorcycle off into the air for the most dangerous stunt he has ever done of a free base jump, it is him.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing you don't get with a lot of movies now because they think, oh, it's just easier to do it in post. Oh, it's just easier to do it with this green screen. We can do whatever we want with it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
And I'm pointing up to Ryan because he basically took the words out of my mouth. Because you got somebody that's like in the Jackie Chan level. He's willing to do his own stunts. So what would you rather have? Somebody that's risking their life to make a film that is phenomenal or someone that's just, let's CGI everything?
Basically, between this and John Wick, these are your new action franchises because they know exactly what they're doing. They're keeping the choreography tight on the fighting. They're making the action realistic, even if a little bombastic. And they're telling like a decent story. The difference being, I think, John Wick, it's an ongoing storyline. Here, every single movie that you get is its own individual thing, much like the television series was. You didn't have to worry about a lot of through line. I think the only continuity here is who on Ethan Hunt's team is still alive and who's been added and who's dead.
Yeah. You know, and I think with something like this also, what's important.
Is this the last one?
No, actually, this is the first time they're doing a part 1 and a part 2.
1 and 2, yeah.
Really wait. You really don't like this film.
It's not that I don't like this film. I'm just tired of all these part 1s and part. It's like every movie
because it's supposed to be the end of a saga. They don't want to just leave the audience in a way where, okay, we're just going to end it like John Wick, for example. They left it in a way where, is he dead or is he alive? Will he come back? We don't know.
Even though they are making a 5th one.
Yeah. Even though we see his tombstone, that doesn't necessarily mean John Wick's dead.
I haven't seen the 4th one, so thanks for the spoilers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
haven't seen it either, but I figured that's where you're going.
He's like, he's like a constant.
Oh, I am so sorry, everybody, but spoiler.
Right.
I mean,
spoiler.
Yeah. Put the spoiler thing up.
But what were you gonna say, Scott? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were asking a question.
Yeah, forgot what I was going to say on that.
I am so sorry.
Well, no, in keeping with that mentality, though, I think there is something to be said that the fact that this is like the first 2-parter that the MI franchise has done, and considering how old Tom Cruise is, like, he will work to his dying day. He will have that Alan Arkin mentality, I'm sure. But once this movie comes out in like maybe a couple of years, he'll be well into his mid-60s. Will he still be able to pull off his own stunts? Will he still be able to do the things that are required of the character? That becomes the question now.
Are they not filming back to back because of the fact that?
Right, but I mean, I'm sure they're still working on it. I don't think they're done with both.
But I want to point something out. If you watch like modern cinema versus like, we'll use John Wick as a great example. If you watch the John Wick thing, you have long carrying fight scenes that go on, in a scene for 15 to 20 seconds. But also, if you notice, a lot of the shots are wide. So when you have bad choreography or fighters that don't necessarily know how to do it, they go in a lot tighter on it, and they do quick cuts between the scenes or between the takes to show more action in it. If you see something like the Mission Impossible stuff, Jackie Chan, for example, if you look at John Wick, you see a lot longer wide shots so you can see everything and really show truly legitimately that it is Keanu Reeves actually doing this. And it was funny because Jackie Chan talked about this, where he talked about the fact that a lot of modern cinema has so many quick cuts because a lot of these people can't fight. And when you see how I'll send you guys the video. It's a great video. How a lot of these people really have no skill set, and the way that they cut it. And he was breaking down like Marvel movies and like the Avengers and how they cut things. And it's like all of these people have no skill because you can see how they're cutting certain things. And it was really interesting to watch this. But with John Wick and with Ethan Hunt's character, Tom Cruise's character, you see a lot of longer stuff. So you really see it's legitimately him doing these things and not a stunt guy, not CGI, and like no really added cut to be able to protect this. It is about the authenticity, and that's what hooks people now. I think people are more cynical when it comes to movies and how they need to be appreciating things. And I think bringing back longer, wider shots like that, I think might do some good to show a little drama involved.
Yeah. I mean, aside from the fact that this is the Tom Cruise passion project, as is most of the movies he's made since The Mummy, which he is still paying back for The Mummy. I think that's why he's been on such a good thing from American Made on to now. He's trying to.
Nobody remembers the Mummy. God, I forgot he even did that.
I
can't.
No, not that Mummy. The other Mummy.
No, I know.
The Dark Universe
one.
The start of the Dark Universe.
That was supposed to be like this anthology thing of its own right.
Yeah, so I think all the more reason you see Tom Cruise putting his whole self into these projects because he wants to make sure that he is delivering the best possible thing. Whether it's an ego thing, who can say? But you can't deny the results, especially when you look at last year with Top Gun Maverick, the biggest movie of the entire year. He has a plateau to reach.
And Running the Bases beat Top Gun Maverick in an award. just to point that out. That's the movie I was in.
Okay.
Wow.
At the 30th Movie Guide Award, they both competed, and Running the Bases beat them. So I thought that was cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shameless
All right.
plugs are always allowed here. That's fine.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay.
Oppenheimer.
Now we come to the debate part of the show.
By the way, Oppenheimer and Barbie come out the same day, so I started with Oppenheimer in this case. I'll go to Barbie after that.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. This.
So what is this movie? Because I have no recollection.
I will say the same exact thing because I saw a little glimpse of pictures, stuff advertised about this.
Ryan, you want to go with it or do you want me to?
I mean, it's basically the birth of the atomic bomb.
Yes.
Oh.
It's
And
about how
they actually,
Americans got it
by
made.
my correction, I didn't, correct me if I'm wrong, they literally dropped a nuke and filmed it, right? Like a small one, not like a fallacious one.
Christopher Nolan, I believe, did have a nuclear bomb made.
Mm.
Again, practical effects, but that's maybe a bridge too far for my taste. When you have to go ahead and make your own nuke.
Would you be surprised on this with Nolan?
No, but
No.
I will say this. This is going to be the hardest cash or trash decision.
It's $100 million budget, which honestly, when you think about it, is not really that brutally that bad. You got Cillian Murphy.
No.
Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Florence Pugh, Rami Malek was like your first six. Kenneth Branagh also, but
Like
Robert Downey Jr.'s in it.
Yeah, old-looking Robert Downey Jr.
yes.
Oh yeah.
So you have to.
No,
look
I
at
mean
this.
they actually make him they make him look like Alan Arkin.
No. All right. So they make them bald?
Barbieheimer.
Barbieheimer.
No.
You know, I mean, the question is, in this case, this is actually $100 million is a reasonable budget to my mind.
I think it'll make cash.
I think it will. You know, not great.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I don't think the other one will.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
No. I mean, here becomes the question: like, will it make money for itself, or is it going to beat out its competition that weekend?
I will say it's going to make money for itself. I'm not going to say it's going to beat out its competition. It's going to make money for itself. And then you're going to wind up seeing this at the Oscars and stuff like that because you got to look at it this way. This is more of an Oscar and the globals, like
right
awards type of film. This is not a film that you would see trying to beat this film, beat that film. It's going to make the money. It's going to go out and try to get nominated for the Oscars and the Golden Globes.
it's a resume movie.
So the better question is anyone actually going to go see this in our group?
No.
Oh, I will.
You will. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do a two for that day. I'll see this and then I'll see Barbie because I think.
Okay. Before we get,
I think the weight of the movie like this, it doesn't necessarily scream summer blockbuster. Like if they had gone ahead and they put this like during like November, then I think it would make like more money because then I think you have an audience that's going to be in the right mind for something that's going to be a little bit more prestige. This I think is going to get mixed in the rat and rubble of, you know, Mission Impossible the weekend before it, Barbie the weekend of, and then you've got like a whole slew of horror stuff that's coming on the back end. I think this is a movie that once the people have probably seen Dead Reckoning, I could see them going to see this afterwards, but I still think they'd go ahead and see Mission Impossible first.
Right.
Well, yeah, it comes out 9 days prior too, so.
Right, but I'm saying if you have the choice between the two, which one are you going to go for? Are you going to go for the more action-involved beat-em-up, or are you going to go for the sadly depressing, oh yeah, let's find out how we decide to kill ourselves in the future?
Or do you go with which I know we didn't talk about because I forgot to take a screenshot, but
credit from Kyle on that one. I just want to point that out.
well, there's that.
There's
a true story coming out this week too. I forget what the movie's called, but I don't know if that's going to be good at all.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to focus with. There's a lot of movies coming out. We had to break this down, and you mentioned Haunted Mansion, which I'll definitely cover. No, it's okay. But you know, in this case, Actually, you know what? I probably should let that run its course on that one. I don't know. I mean, $100 million is manageable to my mind.
What is this? Wait, what movie's 100 million? The Barbie movie?
Oh,
Yeah, actually, yes to both, but we're talking Oppenheimer first. Oppenheimer clocks in at $100 million.
Right, but how long of a movie is it? That's going to be the determining factor between the two. Because I get the feeling Oppenheimer is going to be at least a 2-hour plus movie.
Probably
2.5.
It might even be longer than 2.5 to be honest.
3 hours.
3 hours?
I'm not seeing it.
3 hours more.
Oh, God.
Yeah, sorry, not gonna make its money.
no, it's manageable for 3 hours. It's manageable.
I think it will, but I don't think it's going to be great. I think it's, like I said, it's an Oscar movie. It's not really anything else.
3-hour movie. We haven't had a 3-hour movie since Marvel.
Well, I mean, again, this is Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan exists to build that resume. That's what he does.
Or sorry, the Batman movie's probably our last 3 hours.
Correct.
Right, but that's the thing. Like, when you have a movie that's basically taking up twice as much time as your competitor is going to get more butts in seats. So I could see it making decent money, but at this rate, I don't see it beating Barbie.
I think
it's not going to beat Barbie.
Here's the thing. I mean, cash or trash is, will it make money or will it flop? At $100 million, I think it's managed.
I think it's going to cash.
It's not going to flop.
No.
But is it going to do Mission Impossible movie or Super Mario Bros. Money? No.
But it is going to cash in a profit of making more than what it made.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the resume, like I said, the Oscar winning part of it. I mean, this is already going to get nominated on several fronts too.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, because it's that historical part of it and the cast that's involved. Obviously, you have a very, very strong cast as well. And Nolan's credibility and resume from The Departed to everything else that man has done. Inception, I should say.
Plus, it's nice to see Cillian Murphy in a lead for once.
True. It's his first chance, isn't
it? Not necessarily. I mean, you look at 28 Days Later?
Yeah. Okay. So we are in agreement then it is going to be all four say cash?
Okay, so we'll go ahead and say
it'll be cash, but on the low end.
Yeah.
That's
like 100 to 1.
Savage what it spent.
Right.
Yeah, it'll make back and then the necessary extra 150 million on top of it to hit that number. I mean, listen, for what it's worth, let me say this. 3 hours for $100 million is not bad. You know, when you think about how much money gets ballied around nowadays, that's pretty tight.
Oh, thank God he's not using CGI to make explosions. Then it would be higher.
Yeah, but I'm saying in this case here, maybe also
he had to build a nuke.
They had the veteran cast, and maybe they were only doing 2 takes. You know, check the gate, turn around. You know, to keep a shorter day on that, because like I said, you have something this big. You know, you have to assume that it's probably bare minimum 42-day shoot. You know, I would have to say probably more in the lines of maybe like 54 to 60-day shoot. You know, and you still come in at $100 million for that, officially speaking. That's pretty tight. You got you could have some 8-hour days in there. Crew might have actually really appreciated this experience. It's like Steven Soderbergh.
Well, it kind of makes me wonder, in the trailer where they have themselves making that shanty town for all the professors and everything, how much of that was probably the actual crew and they just get the camera rolling? Don't let
I've seen it, dude. I've seen shit like that before. So, you know, there was a movie with Robert De Niro. It was called The Comedian. I won't mention it by name. They actually grabbed a PA and also an AD to start doing background work on the shoot, you know, because they wanted extra bodies at one point. The SAG rep was there, and he made them give these guys a voucher and paid them not just a crew rate, but also a background rate for the day because of what they were doing. Because they tried to sneak stuff like that in. There was also, I'm going to shoot myself on this one, but there was a scene, if you ever watched the movie, involving a bunch of crayfish. I stood in for John Lutz, who was the guy that they lowered into the scene where they had Lutz actually go. Lutz, you may remember from 30 Rock. They had him actually sit in this tub of crayfish, and every time he got up, and every time De Niro did, you just kept hearing because they kept stepping on the live crayfish, and this barrel, which was originally say here, by the end of it was down to here with live crayfish. They crushed a good half of them, and the rest of them were pissed because you can see. I mean, they went full claw out in defense mode because every single take, and it was dead silence. Every time you'd before dialogue, you just hear because they would step on them with their shoes, with their bare feet, and crush these things. And now I don't know to this day whether or not this movie actually had no animals were harmed in the filming of this picture, but I watched like a couple hundred of them die. So
my dinner's being harmed.
The things you do for film.
I'm allergic, so.
But it was one of those things that, like I said, sometimes you see things happen in film that you don't always know about. So would they have grabbed a background guy? Yeah, they probably could have, because like I said, the comedian did it. So.
Okay,
and that'll probably come back and burn me in some way. But you know what? Hey, we do pay-per-view MMA fights now, so there you go.
Yeah, can we go to Barbie now?
No, God, no.
Actually, first things first.
Oh, thank God. All right.
By the way, this is also before Rob. He has the comic book of it because reasons Manning over there. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Hey, Rob.
If that song is not in this movie will automatically suck.
Why do you think I'm wearing the shirt today, Day? Because I know we're talking Barbie.
Dude, we're having like 4 different conversations here. It's amazing.
I'm really excited about this movie, and I don't want to jinx myself, but I may be go. If I get approved, I may be going to the premiere of this movie.
Nice.
So,
if you don't wear pink, it doesn't count.
And there's a certain actor in this movie of why I would want to go.
Who's that?
Will Ferrell's in this movie.
Oh, yeah, he is.
And so
as the villain, supposedly.
So if I go,
thank you, Kyle.
I'm able to go. I'm bringing my buddy the El Funko Pop.
Hey, there you
go. Yeah.
And I'm bringing this. And you gotta wear pink. You gotta wear a pink shirt.
You know what? I'll wear my buddy the elf suit.
No. Wear pink.
Watch me, Day. Watch me.
Is there a way you can get a pink version of the Buddy the Elf suit?
I could technically take the Jovi costume, but I don't think it would be here fast enough.
Amazon can do great things. I'm just saying.
Prime's coming up. Listen. You got the 21st. It means you got about 2.5 weeks there. 2.5, almost 3 weeks there.
No, the premiere's this Sunday.
Is it really?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, release date for this movie is the 21st for real.
Yeah, they do premieres too. Usually, most premieres I've seen some that happened the week before, but ones that they're doing it's been 2 weeks. Like like how we just talked about Mission Impossible. When does the Mission Impossible movie come out?
The 12th.
It just had its premiere this last yesterday.
Okay, well, and with Indiana Jones 5 cans like what, a month before?
Yeah. Right. But I think this movie's going to do great. I think this is going to be the movie that makes the most money this summer.
Ooh, that's a bold claim.
That is a bold claim.
What did he say?
He said it's going to be the movie that makes the most money this summer.
So you're saying this movie is going to make more money than Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
Yeah. I'm going to say not more than Mario. Not more than Mario.
Okay. Nothing's beating Mario this year.
But Mario was technically May and not June.
By the way, if you guys can see it, that's actually what the box office numbers are right now. So Spider-Verse sits at 607 million.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess Guardians 3 also counts too because that was the beginning of May. But if we're talking about anything post Memorial Day,
we can.
And I can see Spider-Verse possibly passing Fast X within the next week or so.
I don't know. I think they're both running out of steam here.
I don't know. It keeps staying up in like the top 3. So
top 3, sure, but
I still can't believe how much money Little Mermaid made.
It made about the amount of money we kind of guessed it would. But
here's the thing: the reason the Little Mermaid made as much money is the same reason Barbie is going to make as much money, because it's catering to a certain audience.
What do you mean it's catering to a certain audience?
Dude, really? Right.
Yes.
I mean, cop. God.
I'm a Robert.
Human person. Yes.
Rob,
Homo sapien thing.
What you mean it's catering?
I just think it's going to be a great movie.
Well, let's call it what it is. It is a female-led, female-driven movie.
Margot Robbie, baby.
Which is a really counter to a lot of the stuff that we've gotten this summer. No, this is what marketing does. This is counter programming.
No. Scott gets me. Rob right here. I'm pointing at the wrong direction. He's making fun of me. You. Oh, God.
I just have to show off my Harley Quinn signed Margot Robbie comic.
There we
Oh,
go.
God. No, I love Margot Robbie.
Yes.
I just hate the fact that they're doing a Barbie movie.
Why not?
Dude,
They made a Lego movie. Why not Barbie?
Wait until they do a live action My Little Pony, Smurfs, Wuzzles. I mean, dude, there's a
already did Smurfs.
Well, they did a live action Smurfs. That wasn't so great.
Yeah, but my point is basically there's so many different era things from the 70s and 80s that you can just be like, all right, milking that teat, milking that teat, milking that teat.
And what I loved about the trailer is they make fun of how everybody's name is Barbie, how everybody's name's Ken, I think it's gonna be great.
Oh, there is a skipper. There is a skipper.
Yeah.
Well,
But I guess in this case, my own thoughts on this. This also comes in at $100 million, which again isn't that bad, really. I think all things considered, it's pretty solid. Hang on one second. I want to see what the runtime is on this. Hour and 54. Okay, that's crisp.
That is perfect.
That's perfect.
Especially in today's era where everything's running 215, 220, or 3 hours. 154, you can work with that if you kick in 10 minutes of credits or whatever.
Well, there you go. That for every one Oppenheimer, you're going to have 2 showings of Barbie.
Yeah, which actually makes a lot of sense. So you can sneak in a lot more in that time frame. I think here's the thing. I think Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, also in this case, half naked ab showing Ryan Gosling. I mean, both of them are cute, I guess, cute people, I guess we'll call it that way. So there's an appeal there as well.
They're gorgeous. Let's just call it gorgeous.
Okay. All right, fine. I can work, so in this case, the marketing aspect of the ability to be able to market. I mean, if you look how cute Margot Robbie is there, very innocent, very non-Harley Quinn in this case. I think there's a fine. Where the heck did I put
the 2, you cowards?
I'm sorry. Why?
Oh God, he's busting. Why you busting my balls, man? Why you busting my balls? There you go. There.
Think pink, Day. Think pink.
When I saw this image, is this a reference to Guardians of the Galaxy?
They didn't nuke in Guardians, did they?
Yeah.
You know what they really need on this? That nuke bomb also has to have a little skull hidden there for Dr. Wily. I think that would really make it fun.
Guardians 3 they blow up the town.
Yeah, but I think this is more in the fact that it's being released on the same weekend as Oppenheimer, which is a nuke, mushroom cloud, and obviously a very polar opposite.
So was this a fan-made picture, or is this actually in the movie?
Oh, it's fan-made. I don't think any marketing is going to say Barbie the Destroyer of Worlds.
Tonight I will eat of the flesh of my enemies.
So this is just pretty much the outcome of what's to expect to come. Because right now, I gotta say it. I am gonna say it's cash.
It's gonna be cash.
Let me ask you guys a question here. I'm curious about to get your thoughts here. Do you think one is going to hurt the other, and if so, how much, and which way?
Do you think, or are you saying because they're both coming out the same exact weekend?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I think really when people, I could be wrong, but when people see the showtime on, when they see the 3-hour showtime compared to a 2-hour movie, they may pick the 2-hour over the 3-hour just for the simple fact that it saves an hour.
And this is also
right, but
this
you're
is also
also
kid friendly.
targeting 2 different kinds of moviegoers with these things.
Do.
If anything, I would say Mission Impossible is more likely to hurt Oppenheimer than Barbie will, because it's the same audience that would go to either Mission Impossible or Oppenheimer.
It's going to be Barbie that hurt Oppenheimer. I'm going to disagree with you, Ryan, only because you're going to look at the children, women, and those who are huge fans of Margot Robbie.
Families.
Or fans of Will Ferrell.
5.
Exactly. But again, look at what those people are not going to see Oppenheimer. No family is going to say, "Hey, honey, get the kids together. Let's go see the nuclear bomb movie."
Here's my silly little take on this. I think Barbie is obviously the safer pick in this case, and the far more TikTok friendly.
Woo!
Where you.
Oh, yeah, there's gonna be some dances on this.
Well,
one.
there's going to be a lot in that, and also because of the fact that this is more geared. I mean, this in some ways this is a new Super Mario Brothers movie. The reason I'm saying that is because it appeals to both the parents and the kids on different levels. And in this case, the parents know it's going to be safe. It's going to be okay. It's not obviously something gripping about, like I said, nuclear bombs and shit like that. But what's nice about it, yeah, there you go. Hey kids, let's go see Oppenheimer. Boom. It's going to be a blast. So,
I can see
perfect family for the nuclear family.
The fireworks are going around in my neighborhood right now. But like I said, the advantage to this is they probably took some pages from the Super Mario Brothers movie to drop a lot of different nuances. I think not you can't do as many as Super Mario Brothers did because the franchise I don't think is as well known. Because Barbie was more niche. Super Mario Brothers was worldwide, in a lot of ways, and is a far more, I think, recognized icon than Barbie. I think amongst the masses as a whole worldwide. My opinion only.
Worldwide, yeah, I would give you that. As far as Americana-wise, I mean,
that's different. The Americana part and the Mattel
it's
part.
It's Barbie, G.I. Joe, and Apple Pie,
Yeah. But
like
G.I. Joe, where Duke goes into a coma and doesn't actually die when he gets stabbed in the chest.
Right.
But I think this can work, like I said, parents and kids. And the kids will go TikTok crazy because Margot Robbie, and to a lesser degree, Ryan Gosling are prime for that age group. Maybe not. I'm not sure how much Ryan Gosling, but Margot Robbie. Oh yeah.
No, but the fact that they're playing into
I want to also
like...
say this. Maybe this is why she dropped out of the for the running for Sue Storm.
Now, has that really been who confirmed that? Because has that really been officially confirmed, or do we think that was just
rumors? Always rumors.
Yeah. Because I don't think it's true.
You don't think it's true?
But I'll ask her if I see her this weekend.
Wow.
They're looking at, by the way, Vanessa Kirby.
Rob with the Riz. My God.
They're looking at Vanessa Kirby now as the new Sue Storm.
I'll just say, hey, are you no longer going to be in the Fantastic Four movie? She'll either tell me I can't say it, or she'll say yes or no.
Kyle, by the way, is having a really good time with this. We're just going to keep rolling with him as long as he does. But don't like Oppenheimer. Do you hate America?
No, you gotta say
you don't watch this movie,
right?
If you don't watch this movie, you murder puppies.
No. You gotta say it with enthusiasm, like with the whole America.
You go see Oppenheimer, because if you don't see Oppenheimer, then you like the kid, nuns, and the twat. You don't want
America. Let's make America great again. Go watch that movie.
YouTube is going to flag this now.
America!
I'm not even joking.
This is not a miracle.
I mean, a miracle. That's probably more America than most things. So let's be clear.
When did I lose control of this?
Speaking of America, happy 4th of July!
Yeah!
July! Woo, woo, woo!
Well, here's the thing. Happy 4th of July to the entire world, because everywhere in the world there's a 4th of July.
Yeah.
It's just a holiday here.
Right. So. Happy Independence Day is probably the better way to put it.
When we celebrate the anniversary when Bill Pullman led, as the president, led his team to defeat aliens.
Oh, here we go.
While Jeff Goldblum used an Apple MacBook to upload a virus to an alien system technology.
And now look at him.
And that was it. There was never any other movies or actions that happened afterwards.
Yes. And I just met Randy Quaid that was in that movie.
And we shall not speak of the sequel, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
it's horrible.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb in this one. I'm gonna just say this.
Exactly.
I actually was a little disappointed there was not a third Independence movie. I mean, listen. Before you stab me here, the second movie was but I was at least willing to give a third movie a shot to see where they went with the storyline. I like I said, it paled by comparison to the first movie, but I was willing to be like, okay, where are they continuing the story from here? We'll never find out. But at the time, I was kind of a little bit bummed because I would have liked to have seen what they were going to do with it. It might have fucked in general, but I was just curious to get close. It's a closure thing, It's a closure thing.
Wait,
my mind.
Hey, Scott, yo, Robert Ryan is hilarious. These two guys are hilarious because Rob was like this.
Yeah.
And Ryan was like,
Yeah, I know. I know. Listen, I get it. I get it. But here's the thing.
What do you think about the show, Dave? Because I'm hilarious. No.
Modest to a fault too.
Yeah.
But I guess, like I said, I mean,
That Hollywood mentality really hasn't gotten to Rob, has it yet?
listen. He's in the Midwest. He is safe from the anger and the anger and the hostility that comes from the New York City area.
facts.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
don't
listen,
have angry elks out
you
here.
didn't have an air quality index level of like 450 in the last month. We
Facts.
did.
Well, that's because I picked the
Literally go
right
outside
states
and
to live
die.
in.
Okay, back to movies.
Okay.
Back to movies. Who cares about the
All
weather?
right, so I do vote cash, but honestly, I don't think it's going to do as well as you guys are going to say it does.
I'm going to say cash. I
Cash.
hope I go by Scott's prediction, but realistically, I'm
Wait.
going to have to go.
You don't think this is going to be a cash grab?
No, it's going to be a cash grab. I really want
No, I'm
it.
asking Scott. Scott doesn't think this is going to be a cash grab?
I think here's the thing. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be decent. It'll pull in probably 650, 700. But will it pull in $1 billion? No, I don't think so.
What? Well,
I'm betting right now. I will put money on it.
Nobody thought the Marvel.
3-digit opening weekend.
Wait. Let Ryan go first.
Sorry.
I'm saying 3-digit opening weekend.
Okay.
That's how confident I am on Barbie.
Technically speaking, 3-digit opening weekend is what Indiana Jones did at 130. Technically.
I thought Indiana.
No.
I thought
I'm
Indiana
talking
was
domestic.
only 70 million.
I'm talking worldwide. Are you talking domestic?
I'm talking domestic because it's primarily Barbie is an Americana slice. So domestic, three digits.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I can
I'm
see it.
going with Ryan with that one. I'm sorry, because
You guys could very well be right on that. I may have
I
undershot.
really want to go with you, Scott, but
I think
knowing the fact that the way Barbie is an American icon, and there's people that's probably going to go see this film.
Dude, the cosplay alone for the people going to the theaters.
Yeah,
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started with New York Comic Con because I got to go without y'all.
Hey, I may be going.
Dang, if we're going to start talking like that, don't make me have to go to Newark.
Bring it.
You were just in Newark.
But no,
Yeah, don't make me come back to Newark.
I want to bring back to the Mario movie. Nobody thought that movie was going to do good at all. Everybody was dissing it. No, there was a lot of when Chris Pratt, when we finally got to hear the voice of Mario, I seen so many videos on my TikTok page and all over Facebook, all over everywhere, saying this movie was going to bomb. And then it became $1 billion movie. I really think this movie's going to make $1 billion. I'm going to throw it right there. And I just, like you said, Barbie is the icon. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure everybody knows. I'm pretty sure there's more people that know what Barbie is than there is Mario.
I don't know about that.
I have to default on that because here's the thing. What you're talking about is casting.
No.
People were upset with the casting, but they were never upset with the idea of there being a Mario movie. Yeah, people have been wanting a Mario movie ever since the 90s when it was the last time they tried it.
But a lot of people said they weren't going to see it because of Chris Pratt being Mario. That's what I was mentioning.
But I'm going to say this.
What they say what they do with two different things.
That was just talk.
Yeah.
People are going to talk.
Yeah,
They're probably going to, and people was just saying that because they weren't happy with Chris Pratt. Sorry.
Yeah, don't look at the numbers that they accumulated ever since they got released and tell me that those people who were griping about the voice were like, no, I'm still not going to go see it. They went and saw it.
Wait, what? No, they fully expect more.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You can gripe
like
about
I said,
Chris Pratt being cast in every voiceover to the sun, but it does not stop people from going to necessarily.
Exactly.
Dorkly just did a video on that too. That the channel that uses like 8 pixels to storyline.
I love Dorkly.
Yeah, and there was one.
And now independent people.
And there was one that was basically it's like, and auditioning for the role of Mario. What's your name? It's a me, Mario. You want to do it again? It's a me, Mario. And then it's just like, okay, that's not really what we're looking for. You know, in walks like, "Hi, my name is Chris Pratt. You're hired." So,
I can't wait till Garfield comes out. Jeez.
Garfield already came out, bro.
Garfield, yeah.
No, they're making a new Garfield movie with Chris Pratt voicing Garfield.
Why not?
And coming off the popularity of Super Mario Brothers, I don't see Chris Pratt's voiceover work ending anytime soon.
Dude,
then I want another underdog movie.
Voiceover work is so ridiculously easy.
Years,
Because you can do with Source Connect, you don't even have to leave this. You don't have to leave your basement. You have a proper studio setup. You can do everything through like Zoom, and all the audio be recorded. And it doesn't matter where anybody is. So we'll use Super Mario Brothers as an example. You got him, Charlie Cox, Jack Black. You have all of these guys. They could be doing their scenes together, thousands of miles apart, just using Source Connect. Yeah. So they can be sitting there literally in their basement, proper audio and everything like that, recording all their dialogue and never actually seeing each other.
And you're right.
You know, so I mean that's the way. And voiceover work is like I said, you knock that out so damn fast. Kathy Najimy, who was the voice of Peggy Hill on King of the Hill for years, she's like, this is back before Source Connect. She would go out to LA. She would basically work for about 3 weeks, come back home, go back out for a week for pickups, and she'd be done for the year. She would get 2-3 trips to LA, work for about 4 weeks, and then she'd be done for the year. Go ahead.
Is that the girl from Hocus Pocus, correct?
Yes.
That is also her. Yeah. And also from Sister Act and Sister Act 2.
And just to let everybody know, like, because I do voice acting, it takes time and energy. It's not an easy thing to do. Like, you have to have the craft.
Yep. Yay, Barbie.
Oh my God, I can't.
All right. We're going to go on to the last one here.
Do we have any other movies to talk about? Because there are a few I would want to point out.
Yes.
There's a true story coming out this weekend.
What's the next movie?
The final movie that we have for the end of the month. And boy, I'm curious to see what you guys think about this one. Rob, this was your recommendation, by the way.
Dave's really happy about this movie. I'm not.
Okay.
I know Dave's happy because he put something in the chat like a week ago about this movie.
I did.
Yep.
This movie, I will tell you right up front, 100%, unequivocally, unarguably, this movie is trash.
There it is.
Haunted Mansion is not going to do Jack.
What?
Haunted Mansion is not going to do Jack.
What?
Haunted Mansion is not going to do Jack.
What?
Haunted Mansion is not going to do Jack.
I told you.
What?
I did just meet Rosario Dawson, so that was cool. But I'm not looking forward to this movie because I think I don't like that we're getting a reboot from the original Haunted Man or from the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion.
To be fair, that movie was not exactly the best. So
that movie was great.
That was in his era where he was trying to do cleaner stuff. Remember?
Well, because they were trying to market off the idea that, hey, Pirates of the Caribbean worked. Let's use another ride. And it didn't really fit well for it being necessarily a comedy.
This movie, here's the thing.
Love that movie.
This movie comes in at $157+ million as a budget.
Ooh.
That's the point also. So now,
in
this month, we've already covered the 3. You got Mission Impossible, you have Barbie, and you have Oppenheimer. Forget Mission Impossible, maybe okay, fine. But Barbie and Oppenheimer will be in their second week by the time that guy comes out.
What?
Yes.
And here's the thing. If you want horror, this might be a decent family horror, but the real horror fans are already going to have enough in the month to work with. You're going to have the new Insidious movie. Mm-hmm. You're going to have Cobweb. You're going to have Talk to Me, which is an A24 movie and looks really scary. Like,
looks really good.
Evil Dead Rise kind of scary. You know, so the horror buffs are going to have enough to work with that they're not going to settle for a Disney product.
I'm going to say that.
I'm saying this is going to be trash.
What? What you
said?
Yeah.
Trash.
Mm-hmm.
TRASH.
I'm going to sneak in and say cash. Now what?
You're saying that because Rosario Dawson retweeted you or whatever.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
you are.
Cash.
Yes, simp.
I am not simping.
Yeah, you are.
Dude,
you're either simping or you're pimping.
Dude,
which side of the backhand are you on?
There's nothing wrong with simping on Rosario Dawson. So,
but
yeah,
I will say this. when October comes, ladies and gentlemen, all your horror fans from this video game, if you got the picture,
I don't know what movie.
I will tell you. Five Nights at Freddy.
Oh, with Matthew Lillard.
Okay, yeah, that's months from now. Who cares?
Yeah.
Listen, we'll get to cash or trash on that in due time.
We're talking July.
Yeah, exactly.
And even though this is like that halfway
I say
to
Haunted Mansion
Halloween
is going to be
it's like, no.
a sneaker. It's going to be good, and it's going to be a cash.
It will be cash, and I'm excited for Matthew Lillard.
No, it's got to be trash because you already have too much good stuff in the theaters leading up to this. You have already too many horror options leading up to this. This was poor marketing timing.
We're not even focusing right now on October.
This was just, they should not have put this movie in summer.
Yeah.
No.
I don't get it.
If anything, it should have just been released on Disney Plus.
Well,
what?
No, I don't know about
that, but I think
you have this kind of star power. That's all good and well. I don't think you put that on Disney Plus.
I just feel like we're getting too much. Like last year, or a quote, I could be maybe no 21. We got another Haunted Mansion when they did with the Muppets,
and that was I love that one.
I did love that one. I just feel like I just don't think this movie's gonna do good. That's why I said it would have been better just putting on Disney Plus. But I could be wrong, But I think this is gonna be trash.
Listen, it's another Disney movie. Disney movies have been dying lately, so I have no faith in Disney as a whole. Forgetting that part of it. I mean, listen, if Disney had come out with hit after hit after hit and say Indiana Jones was 5 was fine, and Lightyear was good, and all these other ones that basically they've been churning out have done well, I would feel a little differently. But the mouse product, I don't trust right now. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again. They're dropping $157 million. Oppenheimer and Barbie came in at 2/3 this one.
Yep.
On a budget,
And plus, whose idea was it to do a Haunted Mansion movie again? I get that Pirates of the Caribbean was, lightning in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many other rides. Where's the Matterhorn movie?
Mm.
Where's Space Mountain? Bring back Swiss Family Robinson. You still have the treehouse that everyone knows.
Figment.
There's so many that you could build off from. Why are we going back and trying to do something that didn't work the first time?
Because they've run out of ideas, and the writers are all about basically just repackaging old products instead of coming up with new scripts.
Yep. And that's why we have
it's the quick buck, because Disney's trying to keep that stock price up by churning out new product to keep the quick profit going. And in the process, they're dropping like a fly. They're dropping like fly. They're dropping like a rock.
But it almost makes me wonder, who is this movie made for? Because yes, you have some decent laughs and chuckles.
The cast paycheck.
But we've also seen like some real scary visual imagery, scarier than you'd probably expect from the Haunted Mansion, especially from the ride and everything. So it's like, I don't know what kind of audience this is really going for. Is it going for the horror people? Is it going for families? Is it going for Disney fans? Or is it trying to bring people in and be like, hey, come here so we can get people in the park and make money again?
That makes it.
But then you'd have to release it in like January, February, so you get that trip for summer, kind of thing.
And yeah, Tyler, this is a remake. This is not Eddie Murphy, and that whole storyline has nothing to do with this.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's a remake of the 2003 movie.
Well, it's not even necessarily a remake, because a remake would almost say that it's going along the same plot. This is going to be a whole different experience for the Haunted Mansion. It has nothing to do with like the lore that they set in the first movie. So this is just another attempt.
The trailer looked very similar to the original.
Yeah.
Well, of course, it's the Haunted Mansion. You're going to have a certain iconography. You're going to have like the Hatbox Ghost and all that, but outside of that, I can't get a grasp on who this will be. Plus,
here's the funny thing. CGI. I'm thinking about this, and I'm leaning a little bit more to what Rob said about going to Disney Plus with them of this, because Disney Plus right now is starving for new content. Part of the reason why people are going away from Disney Plus is because it doesn't have the stuff that other stuff does, where it's like new stuff. It has old stuff. Okay, great. You got Marvel, you got Star Wars, you got goofy cartoons, fine. but it's all about the new latest content. That's where I think Disney Plus hasn't really done a lot in that department. And I almost wonder if maybe you market this thing come October, you release it to Disney Plus, and you start to have a little bit of buildup for, say, 2024, when you can have fresh, brand new content, which of course may get pooched a little bit because of the writer's strike. But you know what? Non-union contracts don't work too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when it comes to Disney Plus, they've primarily done a lot of their promotion when it comes to series. As far as movies,
Peter
you
Pan
don't
and
hear
Wendy
about
or
a
like some of those
movie
reboots
coming
like
out
that.
on Disney Plus until like 2 or 3 weeks before it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
You could easily go ahead and start marketing something as maybe more of a bigger event. Like if they wanted to go ahead and release this in October, you could start the marketing in like the end of July when this movie comes out and start working your way up to October. Be like, this is the big thing for October, for the month of October. You can watch this. We'll put it out like the second week or so, and then you have the whole rest of the month to enjoy this.
Wait,
that's what they
so
could have done.
Are we
but
saying this
instead-
comes out in October on Disney Plus? Is that what we're saying?
Well,
Or
probably
why-
will
No,
by
I'm
that
saying
point,
if
but-
it was originally going to be like
Oh,
that, as opposed to
originally,
going
but
into
you had to
the
pay to
theaters
put that movie in
firsthand.
theaters, and you're costing yourself
Yeah.
money that way.
Bypass the theater.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the
Yeah.
weird thing. We, believe it or not, I have this house, and I have no problem with what I'm about to say. This house has a ton of Bluey on it. This is like a Bluey household. I can go with that jingle in my head all the time. But while they do ads at the bottom for Disney Junior and all this kind of stuff, I never see anything for stuff like this, on there. ABC and Disney. Disney has been a good old, marketing whore. Using whatever Jeopardy, dude. They're Jeopardy constantly all the time keeps promoting whatever Indiana Jones 5 now, but I never see anything about like Disney Plus stuff on the Disney Channel itself as an advertising tool, and I'm surprised by that a little bit. I think they can hurt themselves a little bit that way.
So wait, they don't advertise in the commercials on Disney for Disney Plus?
They don't. They usually advertise for Disney Channel shows. Like there's a show called The Villains about like it's one of those like tween shows that they do a lot of stuff with it, but they don't really market Disney Plus that much. Jeopardy will, because when Mandalorian came out and things like that, or whatever.
Kyle, that's a little hardcore, man.
But
But the House of the Dead movie didn't work so well either. So,
dude, if Archie Comics had a crossover with I think Freddy Krueger, we can make it work here.
Yeah, but when you think about how House of the Dead was a Uwe Boll franchise,
that was horrible.
Yeah,
or
that
Archie with
already needs to
aliens
be
or
thrown.
Predator.
It was so horrible that it was sad.
I mean, even the game itself, it's just go in house, shoot gun, reload, shoot gun.
Hey, it worked for Doom. Well, not really, but you need a movie
Yeah,
from Doom.
yeah. Think about that.
But Doom, see the game versus the movie, they didn't pay attention to the lore, so that's why.
To be fair, there wasn't much lore to begin with the games, but
which when we get closer to Five Nights at Freddy's, we'll probably talk a little bit more about that and where that's going. But to close this out, I think we're a little over an hour at this point anyway.
Yeah, but definitely there's
versus
enough
Predator.
cash going on that we can afford this one trash.
Yeah, trash.
Yeah.
I'm calling cash.
Right.
Sorry, Dave, but this is gonna be trash.
Tyler, there's already a House on Haunted Hill. In fact, the House on Haunted Hill from like the early 2000s, it has a sequel. I didn't even know that. It's on HBO Max. Well, Max.
No, it's HBO. No, it's not Max. It's just HBO Max.
It's HBO Max.
It's called HBO. It's fine.
It's on the Game of Thrones network.
Yes.
Five Nights at Barbie's.
Yo.
Five Nights at Barbie.
By the way, I want to just reiterate on this. If Barbie does not have the song from Aqua, I will officially protest.
For what I hear, it's going to be utilized in a way.
Okay.
Which means they're probably not going to play the song outright, but they'll probably have like some sort of like orchestral instrumental version of it throughout the movie.
Or
that's my thinking.
That's what.
Or
Listen,
it can play
just
in the
give Aqua
background
some
of the
love,
scene.
okay? That's all I'm asking. And don't give me some kind of a rebooted version of that, with like Daft Punk doing some version, or like Bruno Mars or The Weeknd suddenly
Okay,
doing.
Let's be clear. If Daft Punk got back together to do Barbie Girl for the Barbie movie, I'm buying the soundtrack.
Sorry,
I
I'm
don't
thinking
even care.
Ghostbusters in
You
that
got to
moment,
do
but
it for that.
You know what I'm saying here.
I'm
You
a
know.
Barbie girl.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, no, you got to give me Aqua on that because I used to watch Aqua on UHF, on Scramble Channel because it was the only way I can get music videos back in, in my room, But yeah, I used to get that Lisa Loeb, on like the UHF channel with Scramble. So.
See, you had the Scramble. I had the box.
Well, it's because you're a kid.
Yeah, we had the box.
Music, television, you control.
Yeah, what we were getting scrambled was a different kind of box.
Other things were scrambled on you, that sometimes you get it right. You're like, okay, I don't care if that's a green boob, I'll take it. Yeah. By the way, kids, in the era before the internet, the only way to really watch porn was to actually try and get it on a scrambled channel where you can sit there and occasionally, if the moons were aligned and the color schemes worked out, you could actually get full nudity, albeit in various different colors across the range.
Do you know how many pink breasts with blue areolas I saw in my lifetime?
Thank you. It was like when you're a kid.
How I don't have an affinity for alien women like James T. Kirk, I have no idea.
And ladies and gentlemen, I am staying silent.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can wrap this up too. I think at this point, what do you say?
Yes.
I'm just saying what everybody else already knows. All right, I'm not telling anything new.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I'm just keeping quiet.
Damn kids, you didn't have that, elephant tube and Pornhub back then.
Back in my day, it was scrambled, and we
liked
liked
it because you feel accomplished when you find it. Now it's too easy. It's you felt like your porn was earned.
Yes. It was like a true Indiana Jones story. You went through, you did the puzzles, you scrounged, you went through the mines, and you found it. And then ultimately you ended up losing it because a storm came by and everything got scrambled.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Now you want to know why our lives were so awesome when we were kids.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, Channel surfing.
But yeah.
Dude, we still have everything.
Hey, I found one, and I grabbed my.
You're the guys that missed out.
Oh, so y'all ready for me to do the intro?
Yeah, all right, well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tales from the Film Set, and we're out of here.
Bye.